I'm Constable David Rivers. I work with Halton Regional Police Service. So we spent 2 days in Fort Albany learning a little bit more about the Cree tribe that we were going to police with. And I was based out of Kashechewan, which is 25 minutes by the ice road or a short flight. And they took us and showed us a lot about their community. We were involved in a sharing circle, which is something I've never been part of. Listening to other people and their where they are and why they're there and some of their challenges in life. And you really realize that everybody's dealing with stuff. And it really kind of was impactful in that way because you were able to just share. We had the opportunity to speak to a residential survivor, and in speaking with him, I mean, he was very clear and concise about the type of physical and mental abuse that they were put through. And his ordeal was 8 years long. That was actually really difficult to hear. Like the atrocities that the Indigenous people were exposed to. That was life-changing for me to hear somebody in the same room. Sorry. But that was difficult. So I don't think anyone would argue at the challenges that population would have if those are the people that are growing up and then having to, you have the parents that drop them off at the residential school. And those people, they did it because they had to get credit from the HBC company. They would actually, the only way to get it was to make sure that your kids went to school. So that's how they forced them to do it. And he, like even hearing him, his dad walking away from the residential school and his dad looking defeated as he walked away. As a dad, so impactful. Really think about it and put yourself in that person's perspective. And I think that's one of the things that we forget is that what if that was you? How would you feel? What would you be like? So then you have those people who have gone through all of this trauma and then they're raising their kids and dealing with that. The reality is that they don't have the same resources that we do down south. If you go and want to speak to somebody in relation to your mental health or you've got some concerns for addictions and things like that, they have them there, but they're not as readily available. And you add that with intergenerational trauma, it's a melting pot for bad things to happen. And it's not that they're bad people, it's just that they have really found themselves in a horrible situation with accessibility issues. The ice road is only there for a few months, so they only have a short period of time to bring in a lot of stuff. The rest of the time they fly it in or barge it in, which costs a significant amount of money. I don't think people realize the cost that would take on you as a person to try and live in an environment like that. And not have the same resources. I'm 46, I have kids, I've been divorced, I've gone through a lot of other challenges in my life. And so I'm able to already draw on a lot of those experiences to try and help the community in which I'm policing. This is just another opportunity though, for me to sit there and go, this person's Indigenous. What have they dealt with in their history that I have no idea was possible? Like the intergenerational trauma, the dealing with people who have substance abuse issues. We have somebody up in Acton that is very much part of that cycle. And I've always felt that I've always wanted to help that person. I didn't believe that there's not enough resources, I think. I fear that person will become a statistic one day. Those are the things that I worry about. But now, having an understanding, I'd like to think that, yeah, if I have another run-in with that person, that I'm going to have that. Again, I've never walked in their shoes, but now I've seen where they walk and kind of have an appreciation for those things. So it's definitely a toolbox moment where you sit there and you go, yeah, I as much as I think I know everything about some things, I know nothing about a lot.